everybody! Welcome. We're doing a special Galaxy Grudge Match Lightspeed idea that Brandon, you came up with it. So, do you want to talk a little bit about what this is?
Sure. Is Death Battle ballot banner?
Okay.
Kind
Well,
of,
yeah.
Like,
We asked the
I really like the
server-
format of that show. How they just went through a
rip-off.
bunch of like server suggestions and talked about the match. So I tried to think of a way that like we could do that, but also have like a little spin on it. So my idea was for people to either send their matchups or send their matchups with scenarios, and we would just go through them. Maybe not necessarily in order, but we would just go through them and give our first impressions on the match or the debate. Just see what we would come up with.
Yeah, just
basically.
like random. It's like, don't take any of this too seriously because we're on the spot with this shit. We're really just gonna be going through what you've given us. Not much prior research, but
if you gave us one of your favorite characters and we don't know anything about them, we're just gonna make something up.
Don't feel too
And
bad.
I'm
We're not
not
being
sorry
serious.
about that.
We're not being too serious. We're not trying to dunk on you guys. But let's introduce who's all here.
I am.
We got. I'm just gonna do it in alphabetical order. Got Adam, who's you Tom versus Zig.
Yep.
Adam.
Yes, it's me, the goated Zig debater. I am here. I have a dog with me.
You're
Like
All right,
bad.
you got moral
Simple as a
support.
dog, actually.
We got the goated Biff Weed.
I was on the stretch royale.
That yeah. Got Brandon, of course. Came up with the idea. A lot of episodes.
Fall Guys versus Among Us Part 2, 33 minutes 55 seconds.
I hate you so much.
I don't think we've had Butter even on the channel yet. We got Butter.
Not quite yet, but soon.
Yeah, Butter's he's going to be a soon debater. But you might know
He's
Butter
cooking.
in the general versus community.
We promise new debaters. We'll have them.
We'll have them.
This
We're
is
gonna get him
actually
on!
fulfilling that promise.
Speaking
This is
of
that
We'll
new
get them
debaters
eventually.
soon to come, we have DJ Tiki.
I am also here. Also not on the channel yet. Well, technically I am. I've been
Yeah,
making
now
the
you-
assets since forever.
Yeah, he made assets for us, and will eventually be on Galaxy Grudge Match.
Yeah.
Got me.
You guys stole
You're here
Death Ball's
first.
idea, which means that I hate you guys.
True.
We got Larry Winwood, who debated for Tom as greatest achievement.
Exactly.
The winner.
I have
You're very
an
satisfied.
undefeated track
Which is
record.
gonna end real
Ignore the
fucking
photo.
soon.
Yeah,
once
no,
you face the
it-
nasties.
Ignore Jack versus Zach. That didn't happen. Doesn't count. Everything else, I totally won.
And we got Ribbit Fia.
Hello.
The Ribbit Fia. So we're
Hi.
not really going in order, but I do have. I'm gonna show you guys because we got the footage here. This is it. We're actually starting with the second match here, and I can read it. I can read out the scenario. Monopoly Royale. It's Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Richie Rich versus Scrooge McDuck versus Tony Stark. Who's up for some life-sized Monopoly? Assembled are 4 of the richest people in fiction for a gigantic version of the classic board game for charity, of course. Whose luck and strategy will leave the competition bankrupt? Now, who's going for who? Who wants? Let's announce our who we got here.
I am going for Tony.
Yeah. Brandon, you got Kaiba.
I've got Seto Kaiba.
Even though you were given Tony in the fucking image, they wanted you to go for Tony, and they wanted them obviously themselves to go for Kaiba.
I'm sorry, I wanted to go for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Ribbit, you got Scrooge McDuck as the image is telling us,
Screech. Yep.
and I got Richie Rich. That's all I ever wanted was to debate for Richie Rich. So we're gonna go with the order they gave us. So we're starting with Kaiba. Brandon.
Okay, it's Kaiba.
Yeah.
All right. Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh. I think the major advantage he's gonna have in a game of Monopoly is that Yu-Gi-Oh is a series that's all about playing games. Like, obviously, it's most known for Duel Monsters or the card game. The manga did not start out that way. Basically, it was every week or every issue they were playing a different game, whether it be like Dungeons and Dragons or chess or Warhammer. And Kaiba is basically taking part in all of these different games, even if he's not actually friends with Yugi and Joey and all of them. So, I mean, I think if we just went off of who has the most experience playing board games, which will probably be a little bit of a factor in the strategy. I feel like Kaiba's got that for sure. But in terms of running a company, he is the heir to Kaiba Corporation, which is a giant multi-million-dollar conglomerate, not dissimilar to Stark Industries or I forget what Scrooge's is called. I know he has one. So
Or the riches.
when it comes to like just general gameplay of Monopoly, buying properties, making smart investments, making deals with other players, I feel like he's basically got that on tap. And I think just because of how intelligent he is, like obviously he's a Yu-Gi-Oh character, so a lot of his dialogue is super bombastic and crazy and I'm Soto Kaiba. I don't think he has any of the personality quirks that the other three have that'll be as damning. Like Tony is very full of himself, obviously.
Yep.
I feel like Scrooge McDuck, well, not even feel like Scrooge McDuck is the quickest to anger. So I think if things aren't going his way, like if he gets sent to jail, he's probably going to be the one acting irrationally the most in Monopoly. Richie Rich, unfortunately, is my blind spot. But so you know what? Maybe Max is pocketing something about Richie Rich that I don't know. But yeah, I just generally think Kaiba has the experience for this as well as enough like financial experience if any of that is going to play a factor in Monopoly.
Okay. Next in the
Of
order,
course
they
you,
say.
what do you mean you don't know? What do you mean you don't know Witchy Witch? He eventually becomes Casper, and you're debating
They
against him.
say Richie Rich, but Iron Man is like Tony is next in the thumbnail. Should we just do Richie Rich because that's what they
Yeah.
say?
I mean, I'm just down to talk whenever.
I've got a
Shit.
Richie Rich. I've got Richie Rich.
All right, go ahead.
I'll do Richie. We'll do it the way that Pixelator intended. Okay, so Richie Rich, you would not expect him to be incredibly bright because he's just like a kid, but he actually is smarter than you would think. He is. He did at a certain point in the movie after his father, who owns the whole company, is the richest company in they got the most money more than anybody in the entire world. He goes, presumably gets killed, but is actually alive, but we don't know that yet. So Richie takes over the company and does perfect. Like, he does it perfectly, even though he's just a kid. So he does know how to make smart business decisions, which will help in Monopoly. It'll help him decide if he wants to fucking trade a few or shit. He could, at a moment's notice, get the help of Professor Keen Bean and all of his wacky gadgets. So, he could potentially take, a luck serum before the match. Get a lot of luck in Monopoly if that were required. He's got plenty of robots, plenty of sci-fi robots at hand who might, be like around him. Like, you want to make that move, Richie. You would doubt that, scientifically speaking, that is the best move.
Oh, so you're just a fucking Diet Tony in this case.
Well, you see, the thing is, Richie Rich does not get drunk. Is the thing. Richie Rich is not a disgusting
so you
child.
think that fucking Tony is gonna take? Well, he will obviously take a swig of like some fucking liquor mid match. I don't think that's gonna impair him.
And like I said, Professor Keen Bean can supply Richie Rich with gadgets he can take on the down low, because no one's gonna drug test a child for like any luck serum he's drinking. So really, I think Richie
They absolutely would. What the fuck? Tony would.
No one's drug testing a child for a game of Monopoly. They're just playing a simple game of Monopoly. This is ridiculous. And that's why Richie Rich is just gonna take it home, guys. So
this is the type of vibe you should expect from the arguments on the show.
So I hope you're ready.
Yeah,
I hope you're ready for Richie Rich to fucking take it home.
Arguments, yeah.
That's not a peak argument.
So Scrooge,
I'm sorry. I think. No, wrap it up here. We've got our winner.
That's what I got. All right, so Scrooge McDuck is next.
Okay, so.
Kunjai.
So, a lot of the other characters all of them were born into a life of richness. They, whether it be Richie Rich's parents were already wealthy and provide for him all their own. As Stark Industries was established before Tony was able to do fucking anything. Scrooge, meanwhile, built up his entire enterprise from nothing, and that tells me that he has the greatest ability to bounce back from bad financial situations. So if even if things aren't going well in Monopoly, unlike the others, Scrooge knows the right choices to make in order to build up his money well and proper. And I know that he has experience with Monopoly, seeing as he actually made Scroogeopoly, which is a McDuck Enterprise version of Monopoly. And the fact that he can design his own version of it tells me he probably knows the game better than anyone else. And I mean, I think it should say, out of everyone here, he's probably the overall richest, if I was to make a guess. So, I think that he's shown to be the overall best at gathering up money in short spans of time. Even like in the DuckTales reboot, when he gave a majority of it away while looking for his daughter, he was able to get all of it back by the time Huey, Dewey, and Louie came to live with him, and they're like 10. So only in like 10 years he was able to build up his wealth pretty much back to where it was. I think he's way smarter with his money than Richie Rich, who is known for giving it away like all the time.
Well, yeah, fuck charity. Oh, fuck charity. That's what you're saying.
Oh, so in Monopoly? Yeah.
Fuck.
He's the least stingy, and I think he's the most likely to fall or like take pity on someone who isn't doing well, and the other three will fucking eat him alive because of that. So yeah, I think that overall Scrooge has shown to be the most prevalent, the most intelligent with money, and seems to know Monopoly the overall best. And has started from the least and but was still able to get to the point where he's on par with, if not more rich than any of these other characters.
Okay.
Wow.
Debate. DJ, you got Tony?
Yeah, I got Tony. So Tony, Stark Industries, a multinational conglomerate. I believe that Tony just has like the actual technology and the know-how to actually win a Monopoly game. I don't think that winning the Monopoly or trying to know the game is that fucking complicated at all. Like everyone's going to know how to play Monopoly. Who doesn't know how to play Monopoly? Scrooge having his own. Scott the Woz has his own goddamn Monopoly game. I don't think that's going to affect anything here. I think that like Tony like putting on an armor, like calling up Friday and saying, "Hey, Friday, like tell me the highest probability of like me winning down the line with XYZ plays." He's just going to have all the gadgets available to him to do that, and he has that in more abundance. He can call up Jarvis, he can call up Friday. He has a ton of AIs, a ton of suits that are like specific for like planning. He doesn't need to plan any of these moves himself. And even we just said like, oh, take away all the armors, then even though he didn't build up Stark Industries himself, he still kept it that way. Like he kept Stark Industries like a global powerhouse, like on the level of like God, why am I forgetting Nick Fury, Shield, like keeping on top of like alongside Shield for decades. I don't think there's going to be really any problem like with the business dealings. And he's pretty sly and knows how to like, he knows the art of a deal. So I don't think that any of the advantages that Richie or any of the other people have, Tony also probably has. He's rich, he knows how to make deals, and he has a fucking AI that can just tell him exactly what moves to make. Hell, he could just like X-ray vision, like, oh, chance time. Like, where are the chance time cards? Oh, I better not land on it. Because these are what the cards are going to be doing.
Well,
I did look it up real quick. I'm not sure. There was like a Deadpool comic where there was like an Iron Man-esque armor that was like for probability manipulation. I'm not sure if that's Tony's, but if it was Tony's and he could build something like that, then like, oh, I just can roll whatever I want. Doesn't matter.
That is not his. I should know. That was Iron Man 156, and that's actually his rival's suit. The probability.
What does C mean again?
Fuck. Fuck you.
Well,
Speed of sound.
A lot of stuff actually sounds similar to what Kaiba Corporation has, because basically the company that Kaiba is a part of, Kaiba Corporation, it's what makes duels in Yu-Gi-Oh, like the anime, like. That's what synthesizes the giant monsters, because it's all digital technology, and that's what Kaiba Corporation funds. Even like in future Yu-Gi-Oh series like GX, all the technology that's keeps getting advanced. Even when Kaiba is not in the series anymore, that company is the one making all these advancements in technology specifically made for gaming. So I'd imagine probably like because there's always like in back of a Yu-Gi-Oh fight like, oh, the probability of this card coming out is super unlikely. So I actually think a lot of what you're saying for Tony is pretty similar to what Kaiba would have.
Do I need to remind you guys that Professor Keenbean could make a luck serum for Richie?
Richie Rich is not fucking winning.
Richie Rich is last place. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's last place.
If you got perfect luck in Monopoly, you don't even have to try.
What's stopping any of the other three from having perfect luck?
When are you gonna get perfect fucking luck? It's fucking bullshit. They don't got the serum of Professor Keenbean.
The only one you might be able to say won't get perfect luck is fucking Scrooge. That's the only one you could probably say. I'm pretty sure Scrooge has something.
Scrooge has a lot of magical artifacts he could
I'd be
get.
surprised if Scrooge just had like a lucky coin that would basically nullify that.
Lucky dime.
He does have his lucky dime.
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah. Also, what if Scrooge used his goated stopwatch and went around and looked at all the and changed the game?
Is there really much to hide in Monopoly though? I didn't know if it was actually like.
Yeah.
I don't think
anything that these days.
He'll just go around like I don't know, fucking hit Tony's armor and make it stop working.
Maybe we'll check the chance time cards and maybe like rearrange it right before he like lands on it.
It doesn't help that I made up the luck serum.
Well, so they are allowed to. So is there just like any blatant rules?
I was looking for a luck serum, but it didn't exist. He can make a Robo Bee, an invisibility potion, and a time machine, but no luck serum.
So this is a 3-character argument. What do you
Honestly, because like the luck of the draw shit, and being able to counter Tony's X-ray or anything, I would probably say Kaiba. That's probably first place.
I don't know. Like I feel like Scrooge. Like the thing about building an empire from nothing.
I mean that's nothing. But like you know how. The rules of Monopoly aren't that complicated for that to be like that big of a point.
I mean,
what is building something from nothing gonna help Monopoly?
Kaiba doesn't have a Millennium item, so he can't probability manipulate like Yugi can. That's the problem with using Yugi on the show. So, but since it's Kaiba, I think it's a little different.
Oh, then Tony just went. I thought you had problem building manipulation. I think Tony just has all
he
the
can just make it more likely that he
better
lands on good shit.
Yeah.
I don't think the other 3 would let him cheat. I feel like that's...
I think
the other 3 wouldn't let him cheat. What the fuck are they gonna do? They're gonna fight him? Oh man, fight Tony with all of his fucking armors. Yeah,
Tony's gonna be the biggest dick just to win Monopoly.
Even Marvel Herald.
Like, oh wow, another perfect Herald. Who would have guessed?
There's a little kid here who just wants to play Monopoly, and Tony's gonna be a fucking dick about it.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
Fine. I vote Tony. I vote Tony being a douche.
What's on the line if they win this? More money? Ooh, they need that. Oh, they're desperate for that.
He's proving a point because he's a dick.
I'd like to think that Richie Rich is just trying to start a friendly game.
It's not like... And remember, Scrooge McDuck...
So right about,
Tony knows who
Richie's
Scrooge
sparing
McDuck
people.
is.
Like, Richie's gonna, like...
Tony knows who Scrooge McDuck is.
He does?
He does?
Yes, because it's a Disney property,
actually,
and the Disney properties exist within Marvel as fictional things. So he probably read a Scrooge McDuck comic at some point.
I love this.
What does that do? Knowing the person beforehand doesn't mean you're gonna beat him at Monopoly.
All your adventures, Scrooge.
I read all your comics, Superman. That means I beat you.
I think, like, in the way...
I mean, that's exactly what happened to Superboy Prime.
In the way that comic book is unfair in versus in general, it's going to be very unfair here, and I do think Tony probably is going to win, because if he can just decide, luck lets him win.
Yeah, he can just make it so, or he just hit up Friday and ask him for stuff.
I'm voting Tony.
Yeah, Tony W.
What does everyone else think?
Yeah. No, it sounds like Tony wins, but I'm fairly confident that Scrooge would get second.
Richie Rich could have still got second if I just got
Richie Rich is fourth. There's not even a discussion.
To unveil the curtain, there's something I've been talking about Kaiba.
What?
I mentioned how Yu-Gi-Oh's kind of bombastic and how they talk. The second something goes wrong in the game for Kaiba, he's gonna have his anime breakdown. So I'll concede to third. I'm not losing to Richie Rich. I will not lose to Richie Rich.
Bankrupt.
There is something that
Kinda.
in the reboot, Scrooge also loves board games.
Didn't help
yeah,
him, though.
no, yeah.
Didn't fucking help him though.
I love board games too. Doesn't mean I'm gonna
I
fucking
can't
beat
beat
any of these
Well,
guys.
I love
And
playing
that's-
No, yeah,
Monopoly.
no. I think like all around, Scrooge
Yeah.
Scrooge is like probably built for this the most, but Tony has like technology
Yeah.
that
He
is
is literally
very
built
much
shit
catered.
for
Tony
this.
can cheat
Yeah.
out a win.
Yeah,
Tony.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
It's
fine.
Like,
I
I
think
like to imagine. I like to
underestimating
imagine that
Timmy
Witch
here.
was the one who came up with the idea. Like,
That's what I
no,
was
doing this game for charity, and then the other three are just here bullying.
Okay, Friday, can I just get every way I can win real quick?
All right, I think we
I
finished. I think we
readjusted
spent
the
a lot
order
on
a
this
little
one.
bit to get the other four a debate to do.
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
Okay.
So I think we got Iron Man as the winner for the first one.
Yeah.
The winner
Iron
is
Man.
DJ.
Okay, what are we moving on to?
Tony Dub.
Is it Marx Frieza?
Sure, I can do
Okay, I
that.
gotta scroll over to it,
It's the
and I'll read the scenario
yeah.
out.
Okay,
Oh, it's down here.
good because I'm not on the server, so I
Marx
can't.
versus Frieza. This is from Maddie is Mouse. It's who can get a wish from Timmy Turner first.
From Timmy Turner.
You want to start? You're first. You're first, Adam. Oh, and I've
Okay,
I've
well-
signed up for Frieza here.
All right. So, in Kirby Superstar, the whole plot of the Milky Way Wishes mode is that Marx, he like manipulated the sun and the moon to fight each other so that Kirby would go across the galaxy and basically get access to the big wish granting Nova guy for him. So that right off the bat proves that Marx is a pretty manipulative guy, and I don't know if the episode's going to be out yet, actually, but let's just say we know Timmy can definitely be manipulated or corrupted in some way.
Oh well, yeah.
So
that's
I
definitely
feel
gonna
like-
go down is what's gonna happen. Later.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Frieza, on the other hand, he's a lot more straightforward in his approach. He's just like, hey, I'm here at your planet. I'm going to blow it up now. And that's it. I'm sure he is a cunning guy, but he's definitely not very manipulative. So I don't think. Plus, he just looks way more evil. Like, that's another thing. Marx is a cute little guy at first. Frieza, no, do not trust him.
I think everyone should vote for
Yeah,
me
Timmy-
after that. After you said that.
I agree.
Stranger
Just
danger
vote for
for Timmy.
Frieza.
So yeah, that. Yeah, Timmy. I know. Yeah, I know Timmy's not the most morally sound kid, but I'm sure he definitely knows stranger danger at this point. He'll know not to trust. Know not to trust someone that looks like Frieza. That's all I'm saying.
What
He's
does
dealt
that
with
mean?
evil
What do you
aliens.
mean by
What do you
that?
mean
Yeah,
something
what do
like
you-
Frieza?
Elaborate, please.
Like,
Would you trust
Elaborate.
Frieza if he just rolled up to you after
Yes,
said,
he has.
"Hey, grant my wish"?
He comes
If I
across very
didn't,
polite.
if I didn't have like the idea of like of like who Frieza was from fiction, then I wouldn't have a reason to distrust Frieza besides like, oh, that's an alien.
Is it an alien?
A very short
Yeah,
alien.
Timmy has
Frieza's
also
like
dealt
4
with evil
foot.
aliens before, so
Hey,
he knows.
That's the whole
I mean,
plot of the
not all
Broly
Mark's
movie.
gang.
He wants to not be sharp.
Would you trust someone that looks like Frieza?
What did he mean by that?
Oh my god!
I
No,
think-
don't.
I think you have all helped my Frieza
Yeah.
point. This is good.
Oh, no.
I have stuff to bring up for Frieza about.
You can back
has
me up.
Max
You can
gone
back
yet?
me up because I've only
No,
got a
Yeah,
couple.
I'll let
Let
you.
Max have the floor. Yeah.
I've only got a couple arguments for Frieza, so you might need to back me up. But my main
Okay.
what I'm getting from this is it's who can get a wish from Timmy Turner first. Not will they befriend Timmy Turner and get him to pretty please give me a wish, Timmy Turner. I think Frieza could, if it came down to it, demolish Dimsdale and start like keeping people captive if he doesn't grant the wish. If he keeps his parents captive and like literally threatening to kill them, I don't think Timmy Turner is equipped to fight a god like Frieza. Like you can wish for good shit with the magic, but Frieza can go really brutal with this approach. He could also, if he wanted to, be charming about it. He is manipulative. I don't think, like you were saying, he wasn't manipulative, but he's been tricky before. But I do think he can just like, he's you're right that Marx does look more appealing, but I don't think he's gonna immediately say supervillain looking at Frieza. I don't think he's gonna fucking go. Oh, that's an evil dictator. I can't trust him.
How did both of you convince me of each other's characters? That is impressive.
Can I
I need you.
let
What were you
Frieza
gonna say,
second?
Frieza?
Okay, so realize the entire Broly movie's plot only happens because Frieza manipulates Paragus and Broly. Like he helpfully omits the detail that that he was the one who destroyed planet Vegeta and wiped out the Saiyan race.
That's a solid fucking.
Turns them against Goku and Vegeta. And then when Broly starts getting his ass beat, he just kills Paragus like, oh, Broly, it's stray energy blast, hit your father. It's so sad. Like, no, this extends beyond the Broly movie. He had Vegeta and Nappa and all the other surviving Saiyans working under him for years, and I forget when they learned that it was him.
They literally learned. Actually, Nappa and Raditz never got the chance to learn, and it was on Namek and Vegeta. Because I think it was the Doya who told him about it because he was about to get killed.
Yeah, I was getting for that one. I was getting the original and abridged mixed up. Where in abridged Vegeta always knew, but no, in the original it was Namek that you found out. So like, but Frieza can keep a facade going for a while.
I'm trying to think of the angle.
Okay.
The angle with Timmy right now.
Also, like, he could, I don't want to be the guy.
I'm assuming Frieza either
Clearly giving up on the Dragon Balls if he's going to Timmy Turner.
I think Frieza would like probably Timmy would probably see Frieza as like another like alien species from like Mark.
Okay, I don't want to be the guy who says Frieza will just torture the 10-year-old until he get what he wants, but I'm gonna be the guy who says Frieza will just torture the 10-year-old until he gets what he wants.
See, that's what I was going for.
Well,
That's the idea.
What is stopping either of them from just stealing the wands and using it themselves?
It never says.
What's stopping Timmy from just saying, "I wish Frieza was in a completely other dimension"? The moment he starts doing evil shit. What then?
He's too stupid to do that.
Timmy, there's a lot of things Timmy could have wished for.
Timmy would probably wish for a bear to maul Frieza and the bear to die.
I understand what Frieza would wish for, and I understand how Frieza would manipulate Timmy. I don't actually know what Marx's end goal was in Kirby Superstar, nor his broader personality, even just control.
Yeah, what was his wish? Power. That was it.
Power?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Frieza's gonna wish to become a little taller, but not noticeable enough. Not noticeable enough.
I feel like for this scenario, we'll assume he wants immortality. Because if he just goes up to 2 and says, "Oh, I just want to be taller,"
so easy. Hey, I was asked to get a wish from Timmy Turner first. That's all I was asked to do.
Frieza doesn't want immortality anymore.
Yeah, that's why he chose to get taller.
So he wouldn't even try that. Like, he would just wish for something completely unassuming, and Timmy would just go along with it.
Like, please, guys, I just need to be a little taller. People make fun of me all the time for Timmy. That's it.
Also, like,
we were late.
Well,
because he's so short.
Isn't it like against the rules for him to wish for immortality? Like, I know he couldn't just wish for Frieza or Marx to immediately be dead, because that's against the rules. But
the rules have not really mattered since season 9. So
I feel like the death rule has been consistent though. He cannot just kill them.
Oh, okay.
Well, there is that rule where they said that 50 years had passed, but Timmy had wished that none of them
was illegal. He wasn't allowed to do.
Yeah, that was an illegal.
Yeah, well, I'm meaning.
Adam, what are Marx's chances of going the Frieza route and just torturing Timmy for the wish?
Well, the thing is, he doesn't really do much to Milky Way wishes. He's just like on the sidelines.
Can we get a vote in here? Can we get the vote already?
Wait, but like
he doesn't really do much.
Again, who do you think Timmy is trusting when he first sees them? Who do you?
To be fair,
stop relying on that.
To be fair, Adam.
Frieza looks blatantly evil. I'm sorry. He was designed as being a villain in mind.
Adam being a little bit
To be fair, Adam, there's literally an entire episode of Fairly Odd Parents where like a cute waste of like bunny like plus animals who target like Mark's world and they turn out to be evil. So he might be wary, even if Mark just looks.
Stuff now.
Timmy would see
Yeah.
the cute little Kirby character and think he's lame, probably.
Yeah, he'll probably
Did
like
he ever when
probably
Timmy,
say oh, it's so cute, and then he's immediately gonna be like, and I lost interest.
when Timmy went to the Dragon
Like
Ball
Marx
Z,
isn't the type to. I'm not sure. Is Marx the type to threaten other people? Because I could just see Frieza like, "Give me a wish, or I'm blowing this planet up with all of your loved ones in it."
Yeah, that's
And Timmy would be like,
exact-
"I wish
absolutely
Frieza
what he would
doesn't do that."
He's not gonna fucking beg for a wish.
I wish Frieza wouldn't do
I
that.
think we
too,
spent
there
a
he
good
comes.
amount of time on this debate. I think Frieza
I think it's
wins.
Frieza.
Yeah, I also think Frieza.
Oh, I'm sorry, Adam.
Oh god, I can't. Even here, I'm losing.
You'll get one eventually. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All right.
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't.
all right.
I don't think I
All right,
know
yeah,
anything
fine,
about
Frieza.
Marx still. Yeah, probably Frieza.
Frieza, yeah, sure.
Way to
I
go,
wonder-
Frieza. I think I needed you guys more. That was more you guys, but I still got one.
I thought it was a Biffweed win.
Yeah, it was-
Biffweed and
it
Larry
was-
came in for Frieza. That
Let's
one.
go. I finally get a win. Like, let's go Frieza, Among Us, and
Okay.
Pickle. Oh my god, it's just Dragon Ball.
We
I
got-
only win with Dragon Ball.
We got
Dragon
some for
Ball
Butter and
Among
Larry.
Us. Yeah, that's your track record.
Let me try to find it.
Mhm.
We got this match is for Butter and Larry. It is what is it? Larry David versus FNAF. What the fuck is this?
Larry Daly versus.
Let's see.
You'll never
Oh,
guess
damn,
who I'm
Oh,
going for.
Okay, no
I have
scenario.
nothing to say about this.
No scenario. Just Larry David.
I'm
versus
assuming
FNAF.
I'm
It's-
assuming it's just Larry in FNAF.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Larry, buddy, how would you do in FNAF? I think you do great, right? Yeah.
I'm assuming it's just Larry and FNAF.
I'm putting that in the quote channel real quick.
Who's
So
first?
who goes first?
You-
You do, Butter.
All right, so I'm
Oh yeah. By the
gonna-
way, I'm going for FNAF. He's going for Larry.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah,
so
have fun being confused about that.
I'm assuming that this is going to be the first FNAF because that's the first generations of FNAF, and I think this should be relatively easy for Larry to win because first night is just an easy keep the doors closed, they'll survive, and the robots are not very active. With the kitchen camera being dead, Larry has shown that he will go out of his way to make his job easier. Like in the movie, he went and started researching on all of the artifacts, learning about them. And so I think he'd just go after and fix the camera. It wouldn't be too hard. And of course, he has experience with just artifacts coming to life at night. And even when the power starts to run out, Larry could just run. He's outran dinosaurs like the T-Rex and the rhinoceros. So I don't think these animatronics are going to be able to get him. Even if the animatronics know the location, Larry would also learn the location and just survive. So that's mostly it.
All right. Solid.
Okay. All right. So I'm going for FNAF, and so I think the main issue is the fact that, like you said, Larry is more willing to is a bit more brave than what you expect for a normal security guard. He might just willingly leave the room in order to fix cameras and check on things. Because even if he does fix that camera, we've seen like the animatronics can mess up the cameras and cause it to glitch out. They can use that to lure him out of the room and in order to kill them. Larry is not going to survive. So it's going to survive head on, going toe to toe with an animatronic. They literally have like like arcade machines. They can tear through metal. I'm pretty sure like even like gunshots just bounce off of him. So there's literally nothing he's going to be able to do if he's like to head with one. And in the first game, I'm pretty sure Bonnie can teleport as well. So it's not. And Foxy himself is the fastest of all of them, so he's going to have trouble like outwinning them and winning them. And also, Freddy is the smartest of the crew for staying back the first few nights, basically learning the patterns of what the security guard does, and then during the last few nights he starts actually moving and trying to get to the security guard based off what they were doing before. If he sees that Larry is out, just glitch up the cameras, calls him and go, oh, okay, guess I'll go fix it. And then he's going to corner him, and then they're gonna recreate the Bite 87.
That's a strong way to end it. That's almost.
Notice you didn't mention anything about Chica.
Larry.
Well, if he goes fine, if he goes into the kitchen, Chica's gonna be there to kill her.
I said that I didn't have anything to say about this, but I didn't realize Larry Daly was the name of the guy from Night at the Museum. So now I actually do have a lot to say.
Okay.
But
Fake Night at the
I say,
Museum fan.
Larry.
You'll help me, right? You'll help me. You're on my side.
Okay,
so
I'm saying that you can just close the doors on night one. No, you can't. You will run out of power.
If you get lucky,
Yeah.
you can and just time out Freddy's thing at the end.
Yeah,
So
but
unlikely.
that's like.
They're just gonna cheese.
And
the whole
also,
thing, yeah.
and also, even if
That's
like, you
what I
say you
want.
could just, and also you say you could just like run around, it's gonna be like pitch black out there. The animatronics are going
Larry
to know
has a
where he is.
flashlight.
The
They can disable.
animatronics.
They can disable technology, so that flashlight is next to useless.
The animatronics can induce hallucinations. If Larry is running, they could easily impede his
that's
sight, and he
any-
could run into something.
But they don't do that in the first game. Like if it's
Yeah, they do.
like
There's tons of hallucinations in FNAF 1.
Butter's getting tag team. DJ, help him.
But no, okay. The first thing I'm gonna say is Larry can leave the room, and he'd be willing if it ran out of power. But there's no reason he would leave if it's the safe place. Like
I just
it's the
think
safe
Larry.
place.
I just think Larry's just more skilled than any of the animatronics to even get caught by them to begin with.
Yeah, because the thing is, he's out.
The fact that like he's out muscled or like out maneuvered like historical figures who are really good at combat, and these are just like the souls of little children. I think Larry's going to be fine, even if he were to get cornered. I think he's going to be able to fight his way out of it.
King Arthur.
I don't think he can.
King Arthur, he fought directly. Common Raw, he just got in a sword fight using his flashlight. He didn't have anybody's help. He just beat him in
And
direct physical.
and there is actual magic in Night of the Museum, so it's not like any of the supernatural shit that like he might do. It's not like maybe the hallucinations he probably hasn't seen before, but like as far as magic or like supernatural elements, he's not gonna be out of the water or be like, oh man, it's really spooky. You'll be fine.
To be
And
fair,
also-
in the FNAF books, we see all of the animatronics can fight really well in tandem. Like, like they do
but they have
show
to be in
combat
tandem,
skill.
though.
Well,
They don't
yeah,
have to
but
be in
like,
tandem, though.
Well,
Again,
first,
keep in
terms
mind,
of,
like,
if
this isn't a giant museum where he has room and places to went to. This is a small restaurant. There's going with narrow hallways. He's going to have little room to maneuver around the animatronics, especially with people as fast as Foxy, who likes to pounce on people, and Bonnie, who can just teleport.
He can fight them off.
The thing is, as fast as they are, like, all we know is Foxy is fast enough to blitz human beings. Larry, we know he's keeping up with, like, not just keeping up, he's outrunning dinosaurs, and they flew a plane that flew from Washington, D.C. back to his home and then back within an hour's time. And they're able to react.
Okay,
Larry-
well,
Speed counts in this debate.
Oh my
yeah, I
God.
feel okay.
That's
yeah,
fucking
equal.
That's the point. That's the point where I
No, I'm
can't.
just
I
reading-
can't really
I'm
support
reading-
FNAF anymore because
in the form of a
FNAF hasn't got anything.
crossover, it would just be like.
No,
Like
I'm-
obviously,
I'm
like
just
stats are
bringing this
equalized,
up
but it's
because-
just showing what he's capable of doing. Like keeping
like
up.
he's.
I
the
guess
point is-
I guess my last argument would be I don't think Larry could overcome Golden Freddy.
Isn't there like a 1
Yeah,
in 10,000
but that's like-
chance of even appearing?
Yeah, but like it could happen.
They only say Freddy and
Freddy.
Co, so
The-
it could be Golden
Freddy,
Freddy.
he just
Yeah,
slumps
it's
there
like,
and
I'm
then
pretty
he
sure.
just-
I'm pretty sure it's the entire FNAF.
Would
1
you guys
group, so that
say
would
Golden
include
Freddy
Golden
FNAF
Freddy.
2,
is part
Golden
of
Freddy,
Freddy
he's
and
just
Co?
beating-
Yeah.
Yeah, but
This
like,
is specific, if this is taking place in FNAF 1, then absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
But my last.
I think me and Larry would have a slightly stronger argument on our hands if it was FNAF 2, but FNAF 1,
Yeah.
Alright, so-
Are we gonna put it to a
well,
vote?
it sounds like he's pretty skilled. Like getting through FNAF 1 on your first try is not fucking easy because it's borderline spam by night 5. But like,
Yeah.
he probably could do it. I don't know. I'll say, yeah,
My
I'll-
la-
I'll-
my
I'll-
last-
Wrong argument for
Larry
Freddy.
is that he
My
got
last
gaps in
argument-
Yeah, this won't be
between
this won't be his
because
first
we
rodeo.
don't actually know what the security guard does in between the 5 nights, but obviously from the movies, Larry is just gonna study up on anything about Freddy Fazbear and all them. And actually just learn.
I gotta learn
how
about
to
this
go
Freddy
forward.
Fazbear guy.
My last thing I want to bring up is also those animatronics are really broken down, and there's something about if you get Freddy's bow tie off, his insides will just fall apart. So it's like
Oh,
even if he directly has to get in direct fights with them, he fights with historically trained figures and usually is fine.
That's the
So I
point.
don't think that animatronic, even if it is strong, is going to
Yeah,
hold
that's what
him
I'm saying.
down.
Like
That's
even if
fair.
it's strong, like he's
Yeah.
trained, like he's trained to deal with this.
Pulling
sort of
off
thing.
the
So-
bow
You know, like Ollie
tie.
said, I probably would have if it was literally any other game. I feel like I'm a better shot
It's
here, but
gotta
FNAF
be,
1
like,
doesn't
the
really give me much to
comedic
work
ice-
with.
Actually, it
I
could
think-
be any
You're
other
in-
game. Like I
yeah,
think Larry
three.
would beat Security Breach as well. Like
Oh, yeah.
Security
Three,
breach.
you
Yeah,
only
but
have
yeah,
to deal
security
with
breach was
brain
beat by a
fat,
kid.
really.
Of course, Larry could
Yeah.
beat security breach.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a victory for Larry Daly of Night of the Museum.
Yeah, I'm voting
You
Larry.
won, Larry. You did
Yeah, I
it.
won.
Okay.
Hey.
All right. Looks like
Technically, you won. Yeah,
looks like we got.
How long have we been
What's
going
it?
for?
How long have we been going? Let me see. It's
I think
been
just an
Probably
hour.
50 minutes, right?
42
All right,
minutes.
let's call it this the first episode, and then we'll be back.
Oh,
All right,
I think that's a good idea.
all right.
All right.
all right, T.
Call it. Yeah, be the host, and I'm over here trying to.
Hey!
Oh, whoa.
Okay.
Well,
Oh, okay.
we're gonna
Yeah,
see.
we'll-
This is gonna be a series, guys. We're gonna go through all of these, so
Mhm.
there will be
Yeah.
more.
No, actually,
Yeah.
we just wanted to do these things. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
no,
just those three. Like, we
hard to
got a
say.
FNAF fix, so we're done.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's-
Thanks
I
for
got the
watching.
debate from Marx and lost, so I'm good. I don't need any more.
The winner is Adam Gregory.
All right,
Well,
see
no,
you
I
guys
wasn't.
later.
Bye,
Bye, everyone.
Yeah,
Bye.